Hello everyone, this is Sharon with Entelechy Visions, and this is an energy update for the week of August 3rd through August 9th. So we start this month off right away in a really powerful way. And the beginning of this week is marked by a full moon in the sign of Aquarius. And that is a sign all about innovation. It's all about some really bold new beginnings and some new extreme openings. So this particular moon is almost like a lightning bolt, a very revelation type of energy. So revealing some kind of truth, whether that's in your own personal life or whether that is on a world stage. So this moon is here to kind of shake up things a little bit, kind of shake up some stagnation. If things have been feeling somewhat stagnant, this is a doorway. This is an opening to release and also to begin as well. So it's a very letting go kind of energy that allows us to purge anything that really needs to leave our lives. So this could feel a little bit like a clean sweeping, and you may find that kind of bubbling up in the external world as well. So things that may need to kind of be shifted or dismantled in some way, you may notice that occurring on a world stage. So with that being said, this opening, this revealing is providing some access to some truth, something that we really need to address that maybe we haven't been comfortable with, or maybe we haven't been seeing in a certain way. And this moon will provide that element of truth to allow us to move beyond it and to create some space to move into the right direction of where we are going to be heading. So this is providing a gateway for how the next year is going to play out. So this is setting the stage and also the theme for 2021. So what arises around this week and what arises around this moon, you may notice the themes are going to shape and pan out for you in the year to come. So with this opening, it can be a very sharp, kind of sudden expression this week. So if things are kind of rattled, or you feel triggered by something, or if something kind of shakes in your life surrounding this, know that this is the influence of what this is providing. So anytime we kind of have a shift or a rustling in our life where we're feeling triggered or something changes kind of unexpectedly or dramatically, we can feel really activated. We can feel really emotional around that, understandably. However, it's creating a space for us to move in the right direction. It's creating a space for us to align with something that we resonate with even more. And we may not have released that, or we may not have shifted it or looked at it in that way if the trigger, the challenge, or the change occurred. So we kind of need that element. We need that catalyst in order to move into a new space. So it's providing a service. It's providing something really powerful so that we can kind of shift directions and also move into more of a creative space. And August will be very much about that. It will be very much about this kind of power and creativity. So this creative energy is really arising right now. We have a very fiery month. So you may feel that kind of creativity bubbling up within you right now. So align with that, because any kind of triggering, any kind of emotional reaction that we may have in these times And as the weeks pan out, we can rechannel that and use it to our benefit, to allow the power from that to be fueled into a creative project or into a future vision. So this moon may sweep our lives, it may remove things, it may come in like that lightning bolt that is striking and becoming very revolutionary. So this week is a very revolutionary week. So kind of just let yourself go with the flow of how things pan out, not just in your life, but in the world as well. So really tend to yourself and get the rest that you need. Tend to your nervous system, because people may be on edge and your nervous system may feel a little frazzled, and especially as this month kind of pans out. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself, and to be mindful that everyone else is going through their own stuff as well. We are also noticing that with this kind of fiery, creative energy that's arising, we are having a coupling of some feminine power that's really gaining traction. It's really emerging and rising in the world. And you're noticing it maybe if you've seen the kind of social media blast of this whole movement with the women supporting women. That has its own elements and details to that, but it's kind of a reflection of how things are emerging in the feminine rising. So that's kind of a really, really powerful and good sign that we are moving more towards this balance between the masculine and the feminine. And it's not about one being better than the other. It's about this equality. It's about this emergence of healing that will ultimately benefit both sides, because within all of that is a lot of heart healing, is a lot of heart expansion. And I've been noticing it in my own personal sessions with clients that it is happening on both sides, that men are moving through their own personal heart healing and opening, and women are as well. There's also been a theme that I've been seeing with people. When that kind of pops up, I kind of see that as a collective theme. If it's occurring with many people, is this sense of a heart blockage, that it's almost like the energy is really stuck in the mind right now, that the mind is kind of on overdrive and it's very anxious and kind of swept up by these times. But it's also tricky to find the space to move the energy down into the heart, because the heart's kind of feeling a little bit shut off, a little bit blocked through these times, maybe out of anxiety, fear, sadness, or whatever is moving through the heart right now. So this is coming up as a theme for many people. So I want to mention this here as an element to really be mindful of what is occurring in the mental chatter within you. What is occurring as you are moving throughout your day? Is there a lot of anxiety that's playing out in your mind? Are you finding that you are lingering more in the mental space and less in the feeling space? Are you lingering more in the trying to figure it all out? Or are you lingering more in the trusting and the intuiting and surrendering and feeling into your experience? So just kind of gauge where you're at, because if we linger a little bit too much in the mind, then we're neglecting the intelligence, we're neglecting the inner knowing within the heart, which has so much power and so much purpose to really guide our direction and to really be connected to our sense of truth. So the heart is really the one that should lead the path because it knows exactly how things need to play out for our life and in the world. So just kind of gauge this for yourself, and if you are feeling blocked in the heart space, would highly recommend tending to some inner work, whether that is through different modalities or just adding some more meditation to your daily practices so you find some time to go within and really connect to what's going on in that space for you. So this is a powerful time because there's so much taking place. There's many, many layers to what's happening right now. And August is a very, very powerful month. And it will be leading us into the fall season, which escalates even more. So just be mindful of how you are tending to yourself because that will be your anchor as we move through the rest of 2020. So with that being said, this creativity that's been arising right now, this is a very, very big piece of the month. So tune into what this feels like for you and what you envision to create out of these times that are really triggering at times and challenging. That we can use that adversity to really fuel it into any kind of project, any kind of hobby, and to also provide a sense of healing, a sense of peace, and to channel it in a totally different way and a productive way that will allow us to be some guiding force and leadership for these times. Because anytime you have great challenge, anytime you have great triggering in the collective or in yourself, we can use that as a time of innovation. And this full moon is really marking that as well to spark that sense of innovation. And innovation really moves out of a sense of being triggered. That anytime you have a necessity to address a challenge or an issue, that we can address it from a place of a totally new standpoint. That you can't really solve the problem with the same way that you've approached it. I know there's a famous quote surrounding that. So kind of finding a new way to approach these times or to approach the challenges that are coming up in your own life. That there can be new ways, new visions, new creations. And with that, we are helping to shape a new way forward. So it's up to us to really use our creative energy, to really use our creative visioning, not just with ourselves, but together as a community, connecting with others. Even though we can't really connect all that much in these times, we can still reach out. We can still partner in certain ways, and we can still kind of collaborate in different kind of directions that allow us to all use our gifts and our skills to benefit the whole. So this month is really marking that time of innovation and to really ask you, what are you ready to create? What are you ready to contribute to the greater whole? And how would you like that to play out in the year to come? Because that's really the seeding and that's really the planting that we're doing right now. So really, really powerful forces at work this week. Go very gently and easy on yourself and others as we move through this pretty potent full moon week. But know that as we move to the kind of midpoint of August, some of that will kind of ease and bring some balm of calm into the mix of this month. So we're going to move through a couple really potent weeks, but just take care of yourself through it all. So to bring you the channeled message for this week as an element of hope and inspiration and also to remind you to keep that light glowing inside. That these times may be challenging, but it's up to you to keep shining and to remember that you've got this, that we can still be strong and we can still ride these waves in the best way that we know how. Just as the sun is more appreciated after the rain, great adversity inspires a hope that is only cultivated through the act of such friction. Creation is an act of flow combined with force and a perfect blend of the polarity with masculine and feminine, or equal and opposite forces. It is in this blend that creation is birthed. The adversity inspires a dormant innovation that may not have been spawned otherwise, and thus it is you who are birthing yourselves out of the old sheath of what has existed and reframing a world anew from the very aspects you are rebuilding within your own hearts. So I leave you with that message this week. I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead. I invite you to like and subscribe to this channel as it does help to support. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for listening.